Good evening, everybody. We're here on a Wednesday night instead of Wednesday morning due to a little schedule conflict, but we are here with our.
Shit happens, man.
Yep, it happens, but we got back to it. We're going to try to get an episode in here and post it here tonight. Um, we're going to do a little MLB update, WNBA update, NFL update, and then this is going to be kind of the main NBA episode, which is a little more my realm than AJ, so I'm going to run through and
Sure.
do some quick talking, which I'm known for. So I'll try to speed through some of the off-season trades and things like that, and some re-signings and some big news and some draft results and just things from the GM survey and all that good stuff. So yeah, we'll just tackle a good bit of NBA. So if you're not an NBA fan, this will be a short episode for you. If you are an NBA fan, hang out, listen to pretty much. I'll recap pretty much everything that happened, and I'll do it as quickly as possible. So yeah, let's jump right into the NBA stuff then, I suppose.
Oh yeah, go for it,
Um,
man.
so we'll look real quick, running in alphabetical order of cities. How they did it, and so that's how I took my notes. Was the Hawks getting Larry Nance, Cody Zeller? They lost DeJounte Murray to the Pelicans. Celtics re-signed Sam Hauser on a 4-year deal. Luke Cornett back on a 1-year deal. Tatum on a 5-year deal. Xavier Tillman on a 2-year deal. Derek White on a 4-year deal. And we also signed Lonnie Walker the fourth. So Celtics had a high percentage of votes for best offseason, which is sweet to see for a team that just won the title. Um,
Great, love
Nets.
that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we got a strong. The rich getting richer was a real legitimate thing this year. Some of the teams, Oklahoma City also was up there in the votes, and they were a team that has the youngest core, and they made some noise last year, and then they also had some votes for that as well. Nets get Claxton back. They get Bogdanovich in a trade, and then they also lost McHale to the Knicks. Hornets, they get Seth and Miles Bridges back. They also signed Taj Gibson. Bulls get Giddy the Diddy. Jalen Smith on a 3-year deal. They also lost Alex Caruso to. Thought I heard a kid, but I didn't. My bad. They lost Alex Caruso to the Thunder, which is a big deal. They also lost DeMar DeRozan to the Kings and Andre Drummond to the 76ers. Um, Cavs get Donovan Mitchell back on a 3-year deal. Evan Mobley on a 5-year deal. Tristan Thompson still playing basketball on a 1-year deal. Also got Jared Allen on a 3-year deal. Mavs got Clay Thompson, who's been ice cold in preseason so far. They lost Derrick Jones Jr. to the Clippers and Tim Hardaway Jr. to the Pistons, which were both big moves. Nuggets, who were very strong last year, of course, and Nikola Jokic was the MVP. Jokic is the MVP. They get Jamal Murray on a 4-year deal. They keep DeAndre Jordan. They signed Russell Westbrook. They did lose Contavious Caldwell Pope to the Magic, which could maybe be a problem, but I think Russ will fill in well. Skipping the Pistons, I mean, they re-signed Cade Cunningham to a 5-year deal. The Rockets really didn't do too much at all in free agency this year. Warriors got Steph back on a 1-year deal, kind of that player option like usual. They did sign Buddy Hield and got rid of CP3 and Klay Thompson. Pacers got this is going quicker than it was because I knew I talked fast. I'm racing through these.
Dude, I barely understand a word you're saying some of
Is
the
it
time.
is it too fast or is it just because you don't know basketball players?
Uh, I think both can be true.
Okay, well maybe I don't want to slow down too much because I want to tackle through some of them, but
No, you're good.
um,
Keep
yeah,
going.
yeah. They can do that the speed edit thing. Do it to like 0.75 so you can hear
Yeah,
every word.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
There
So
you go.
the Pacers signed James Johnson to a 1-year deal. They signed T.J. McConnell back, Pascal Siakam, Obi Toppin. So they retained their core, which led them far in the playoffs against the Celtics last year. They ended up losing, but they were missing some key pieces. The Clippers had a ton of moves. They got Mo Bamba, Nicholas Batum, Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., Kevin Porter Jr. They did lose Russ and Miles Plumlee, or Mason Plumlee. They also lost Paul George to the 76ers, but they did re-sign Harden. So I'm not very high on the Clippers because Kawhi I feel like just doesn't care about playing basketball anymore, and Harden is 50-50 on whether or not he's going to weigh in or not. So that's just such a crazy team to try to guess on. The
Sure.
Lakers, of course, re-signed LeBron. He does the thing he does all the time where he has control, kind of plays one more year, then has a player option to sign out or sign again, and does it year by year. So he always has a 2-year deal with a second-year player option, so he's in full control of what he's doing year to year. They also lost Dinwiddie, which I don't think was a huge deal. Grizz got Luke Kennard on a 1-year deal, and also Scottie Pippen Jr., which is hilarious. He's playing in the league now, so we're
Wow.
super old. Yeah, we're super old. It's that time.
Yeah.
Also, of course, LeBron James Jr. playing for the Lakers. So yeah, big deal there. Pat Bev is playing in Israel. The T Wolves get Dante DiVincenzo on a trade. They also signed Joe Ingles. They get Julius Randle as part of that trade that they lose Carl Anthony Towns. Heat re-signed Bam Adebayo. They get Kevin Love back for 2 years, and they lost Patty Mills. Pelicans made some moves, probably in a negative way. They got Jose Alvarado back, and they got DeJounte Murray and Daniel Tice, which is nice, but they lost Valanciunas, Zeller, and Nance. So, I mean, they got DeJounte Murray, which I think is a big deal. Um, Knicks have a two-way deal with Jacob Toppin, which is Obi Toppin's brother. Jalen Brunson takes a reduced four-year contract to stay and save the Knicks cap space, which rarely happens. He could have taken a max deal and actually signed for, I think it was like 20 or $30 million less than what he could have, which is always like a huge deal. Other NBA players and all kinds of athletes were just like, what? Um, so it was a big deal there. They also lost Julius Randle, obviously, and Dante DiVincenzo in the trade for Cat, so they signed Cat. OKC, they added Caruso. They lost Josh Giddey, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. Gordon Hayward retired. The Magic signed Contavious Caldwell-Pope, but lost Joe Ingles in that. And then your beloved 76ers, you guys re-signed Joel Embiid on a 3-year deal. You get Kyle Lowry back on a 1-year deal. You get Tyrese Maxey on a 5-year deal. Kelly Ray Jr. on a 2-year deal. You also gained PG-13 and Andre Drummond and Eric Gordon and Reggie Jackson. And one thing that I'm really nervous about is Caleb Martin. He was a guard for the Heat, and he was like the Celtics killer. He was like what Lance Stevenson was for LeBron. Like, there's always just this one player who gives the team like crazy trouble. And Caleb Martin single handedly just like we couldn't stop him, and he could play the greatest defense on our best players. And now he plays for you guys, and I'm like slightly nervous about that. I feel like that could be a problem for us when we play you because we have
Okay.
so much focus on Embiid and PG-13, and then now we have to worry about him as well. Like that, he just is always sneaky good against us. Like I'd be interested to see his stats versus us versus other teams because I feel like it's through the roof. So
Brad?
what's that?
You said his stats, Brad?
Yeah, right. That's yeah. Get on
What do
that.
you
Let
do
us
around
know.
here?
Yeah. We need him in here live instead of afterwards. Suns re-signed Bol, Tyus Jones, nothing really else. Portland, one of the worst teams, they signed Malcolm Brogdon. They lost him to the Wizards, so they really didn't do much else either. They worse the poor got poorer. The Spurs, a huge team, super excited for that. They signed CP3. They get Harrison Barnes. They get Devontae Graham, and they have Victor Wembanyama. So I think that they're going to be definitely a fun team to
God, Chris
watch.
Paul still plays?
Still playing. He was in the GM survey the highest rated player by like a long shot for most likely to be a successful head coach. So it's pretty much he's going to the Spurs. There's a random chance when Manana leads them to a title that he desperately wants, but if not, he
Yeah.
at least gets to learn from Greg Popovich, see how it's done, maybe take over the reins once Greg retires in a few years. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's a lot that could happen there, but I think CP3 is kind of setting up himself for coaching instead of winning his title because I think it's a very big stretch that the Spurs get that far. Kings get Malik Monk back on a 4-year deal. They also signed DeMar DeRozan. They lost Harrison Barnes to the Spurs in that deal we were just talking about. Raptors re-signed Scotty Barnes to a 5-year deal and Emmanuel Quickly to a 5-year deal. Jazz get Laurie Markkinen on a 5-year deal as well as Patty Mills. They lost Russ technically in the trade, which they waived him right away. And lastly, the Wizards signed Sadiq Bey and Valanciunas, but they lost and Brogdon and they lost Tyus Jones. That was pretty quick.
Whew. Yeah.
That was pretty quick.
It was pretty quick.
So yeah, so that was those
I
a lot of
hope you all got
trades.
all that.
Yeah, lots of trades. Feel free to rewind. Yeah, lots of trades, lots of signings, lots of everything. Other big news, just real quick, and then we're gonna take a break from the NBA. We'll jump over and do some baseball that AJ doesn't care about anymore because the Phillies lost. The draft. First was that Rasacher dude from France, which is back-to-back first overall picks that have been from France. Vic last year, him this year to the Hawks. Other big names, of course, for me, the Celtics. We got Bailey Shireman, which was one of those ones where everyone was like, "How the hell did we let him fall to them? Like, why did this happen?" Because he's like a tall four-way stretch Al Horford kind of player. So like we kept Al for another year. Now we drafted this kid. We get to let him learn from him, which is perfect. But of course, 55th overall, Bronny goes to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's take a break from NBA and jump over to do the baseball stuff. You go right ahead.
Sure. So American League Championship, ALCS. You got Cleveland Guardians versus New York Yankees. Yankees took both game 1 and game 2. Game 3 will be tomorrow night, 5:08 p.m. Making Dane happy, ish.
Yeah, at least it's not 1 in the afternoon.
Fair enough. I saw a stat the other day that, like, I forget who it was on the Yankees. Like, the one player's salary for the Yankees is equivalent to, like, almost the entire Cleveland Guardians roster.
I remember
which
that
is
with the
just
Tigers
wild.
too. They said the
Yeah,
Tigers, their entire salary was like a few, like some of the mid players, like
yeah,
full salary, which is just crazy to think. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the baseball. I've always understood that about baseball, that the markets are super lopsided. Like
yeah.
it's a miracle run if a team with a low salary is getting things done because the other teams are just so good and have so much money to spend.
Yeah, so they're playing good team ball, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to beat the Yankees, and their bullpen seems to be really killing it right now, which I'm super jealous of as a Phillies fan. So yeah, game 3 tomorrow night, 5:08 p.m. It is a best of 7, so the Yankees still need to win 2 more, and they are going back to Cleveland. So the Yankees won both their games at home, going back to Cleveland to play 2. We'll see what happens.
Is it a
Uh,
best of 7? For some reason, I thought it was a
yeah,
best of 5.
no,
Interesting.
best of 7 in LCS.
Nice.
It's wild cards, best of 3, then
Best
best
of
of 5,
5.
then best of 7. World Series is best of 7.
Got it.
Uh,
Odd.
Unlike the WNBA, which we'll get to in a minute, but National League Championship Series (NLCS), Dodgers destroyed the Mets in Game 1. I don't know if
Yeah.
they knew what hit them. 9-0.
Yeah.
That was
That
wild
was
to watch.
rough. Yeah.
And then the Mets
Once it
came back
started,
and
it
put
just didn't stop.
7-3 up to tie the series at 1. And their game is on right now. Score is 4-0 Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th. So go Dodgers, because Mets muck the Mets. Muck the Fets. There it is. Um, so yeah, game today, game tomorrow, game 4 is tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Both tomorrow.
So yeah, should be pretty good. Looking forward to the World Series. Uh, as long
Are
as the
you?
Mets aren't in it.
See, I kind
Um,
of yeah. See, I feel like I want the Mets. I mean, I guess either way, this one is fun because you either get like the Dodgers, who are another huge payroll team and a bunch of fun players to watch, or you get the Mets, which I guess I know you're salty, but like if it's Mets and Yankees, which it's looking like it may
that
be,
would be wild.
that's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
a
Like
great story for
that's
sports for sure.
insane. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy. Have the Mets ever won it? Is this like that special that they've never been in it, or have they ever won it, or how deep
I
is it?
I'm fairly confident the Mets have a World Series, but I don't know the
Okay,
history.
okay.
I
Yeah, I
don't.
didn't know if they were like one of those teams where it's like they clearly have never won one, like it's a big deal and they always come up short or whatever. Because I know that this was like a year that they were not anticipating making this much noise, and
Yeah,
obviously, unfortunately, through Philadelphia they came.
yeah. I don't. I unfortunately don't have all that information, but
Google does. I'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll get Brad on it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, facts. Make that two
So
notes.
yeah, that wraps up baseball. 2 games tomorrow night. Finishing the game tonight. WNBA next.
Yep. With that,
Yeah.
do that.
That game just ended,
That was
so
wild. Yeah, that
that
was
was
good.
wild. That
That was
ooh,
crazy.
Sabrina from the logo. She looking out here
Yes.
looking like Steph
It was
to win
wild.
the
Yeah,
game.
she hit the step back, and I was like, "That looks crazy. They're tied. Like, what are you doing?" And it
Yeah,
just sunk. And so I was like, oh, "Okay, fair enough." And then yeah, there's a second left, and the Lynx just fumbled the ball, couldn't even get it up. So
yeah,
yeah, Liberty win 80-77. They take a 2-1 series lead. It's best of 5, so one more, and they win. They were down 15, which is the third largest comeback in finals history for the WNBA. So like, yeah, that was a pretty big deal that they were down at one point, like I think it was mid third quarter, maybe it was mid second, but yeah, it just was like, all right, this
yeah.
game's kind of wrapped up, and they charged back, and now they have the momentum on their side.
It's crazy because the Lynx did the exact opposite in game 1, right? They came back from like
Yeah.
18 points down to win.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess no lead
Setting
is
records
safe in
back.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
series or
Setting
something.
records back and forth.
Yeah. Um, in other WNBA news, Caitlin Clark named
I
all
see
on
that.
WNBA. Collier and Wilson were unanimous votes as well.
Saw that.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
And then they announced a 3v3 unrivaled league.
I
So
did see that. I'm always excited whenever new things like that start, but then I always take it with a grain of salt because like it never seems to work. Like
yeah,
Ice Cube did so much to try to get the big three to work, and then like just in the last few years, you've heard the rumors that like the NBA was like, no, we're gonna do everything we can to like backhand sponsors to be like, if you sign with them, you can't sign with us, and all that
uh-huh.
stuff. And so like you just kind of choke the life out of him without saying it, and
Yeah,
then that's what happens because that's like it just has like fizzled out. And I know he tries so hard to market it, and it's like for someone like me who's looking for it, I can't even find it. So
yeah.
it's always interesting when they start new leagues to see like how they're gonna go. Like the NFL is the same way. Like they're not gonna let anybody else have a piece of their pie whenever they have it right now. Like if
Uh-huh.
they have the money to just funnel you out, they're gonna do so. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely something exciting though if it works out.
Yeah, we'll see. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
that covers WNBA.
Yeah, so yeah, the season's almost wrapped up. We got a couple games left, but we can kind of finish on the break there though, and go with NFL news because we have some big
Okay.
stuff that we haven't talked about since we had our episode Sunday night, or I guess Monday morning this
Yeah,
week.
Monday morning. Monday night's game was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah,
Surprisingly.
yeah.
I
Didn't
was
expect the
kind
Jets
of
to even be in it.
yeah, I was kind of expecting a little bit of a blowout, and then to have the
Yeah,
20-23 game was crazy.
yeah.
Um, that's
Aaron
really
Rodgers Hail Mary,
yeah.
and then an interception
For
to
some
close it
reason, he's
out.
so good at that. Yeah.
Poetic justice. That's a,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Somebody was saying that today. I think on PMT was like it's like the trajectory. Like it just lands so perfectly. Like it's like unlike any other ball where it just lands so perfectly at an angle where
Yeah.
it falls directly into their hands and the defender can't quite get to it unless they're just taller and standing
Yeah.
in front. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely exciting to watch. But yeah, so then but yeah, big news then for
So
the
the
Jets.
trading block has
Yep.
been popping,
Yep.
and the rumors are swirling, and I am here for it. Yeah, so big news with the Jets. They trade Devontae Adams for Devontae Adams, that is. So he reunites with Aaron Rodgers this time in New York. So now they can both tear ACLs together.
Do old man stuff together in New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
MetLife Stadium.
signed a 1 year deal, so it's not even first. Like they, I don't know why they think they have problems on defense, so they bring in Devontae
Yeah,
Adams. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
they don't want
it's
to pay Hassan Reddick his
yeah,
money.
so they
So,
still pay Devontae Adams. Dude,
yeah,
we just drafted Garrett Wilson, but let's bring in Devontae Adams. Like, and yeah, Alan
yeah,
Lazard catching
it's
a Hail
just
Mary. Now he's gonna take less catches, and so yeah, it's just what a Jets doing Jets things.
yeah.
Also, no head coach, firing a head coach, then trading for a receiver. Like, what a wild week. Like, what an
Yeah,
interesting couple of days for them.
yeah. Also, the speaking of Devontae Adams and where he came from, Tom Brady did officially get approved as
That's
owner
right.
of
Yep.
the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep. That's
Partial owner,
crazy.
I should say.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I guess congrats to him. I'm curious how that affects his broadcasting
It did they
style.
it was a thing where the owners voted on it that he has like specific broadcasting rights that he's not allowed to do like the pregame meetings, he's not allowed to be in the locker rooms, he's not allowed to do
Yeah,
stuff that could benefit the Raiders. Like he has to have
right.
basically like public knowledge only. And
Yeah,
so but like at the same time, like he's gonna be around, he's gonna hear things, but like you can't really fault
right.
him for that. Like if he has guys in his training program or whatever, like if he's just having conversations, like he can always kind of finesse it to be where it was just a normal conversation. But
Yeah,
yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that ends up. I'm count me down now. If there's a DraftKings bet for will there be a Tom Brady ownership inside trading scandal, I will put whatever I can down on that right now because at some point, whether he's guilty or not, there will be something that
yeah,
these wires get crossed and it becomes an issue.
yeah. And then I guess staying in the division, you actually mentioned this, I believe, Sunday night about getting Amari Cooper out of Cleveland. And
Yes,
here we
that's right.
are.
I did. I did. We need to
Yeah.
start clipping stuff, Brad. Third thing on your list. We need to start clipping stuff. I forgot. I mentioned that. I did. I called that one
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
said
you
that
said,
poor
can we
guy.
please get my boy
Yeah,
out
because
of
he's on my
Cleveland?
fantasy.
Yeah.
That's right. I gotta go find that. All right, Cooper.
Yes.
Let me
So,
circle. Let
and
me
they
circle
did.
Cooper.
They sent him to
They
the
heard me.
Bills.
Somebody from the Bills heard my
Yeah.
podcast. They said, "Dude, we could go get Amari Cooper. This kid's fantasy could use some help."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, so the Bills get the Monday night win. They come out, they trade for a receiver, get to add Josh Allen weapons. A receiver that really just you never hear anything about issues. He just hasn't played well in
Yeah.
Cleveland and didn't play amazing in Dallas, but was a freak of nature in Oakland. So
Yeah.
you get that back, or even a slimmer of it, then you're in good shape. And
Yeah,
so that's
for
me.
sure.
It's not Stephon Diggs with the toxic rumors. It's you have a clean cut receiver. So yeah, good for the
Hopefully.
Bills. Yeah, and
And
then the Jets lose and get Devontae Adams. Like both teams come
yeah.
out of there and said, "We want a new toy."
Yeah. There are a lot of rumors. I'm not going to get into them just because the list goes on and on about who
Oh
can
yeah,
go
yeah,
where, who's
for
going to
sure.
do what.
Yep.
I think it's unlikely that the vast majority of them happen, but it's fun to speculate on.
Yep. Yeah.
But you can look into that yourselves.
Yep.
Um, you want to go Stellars, the local team?
I was gonna say, yeah, that is big news. That one isn't necessarily rumored. That's real. Russell
Yeah,
Wilson getting first team reps. How do you feel about Justin Fields potentially losing his job?
I mean,
Slash definitely losing his job.
yeah, it seems like a weird time given they just had one hell of a game.
Yeah,
Like
I just
I don't quite understand it. It's I guess one way to create drama. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm also not an NFL head coach, so maybe they know more than I do.
maybe probably not though.
Yeah. Do Seattle or not Seattle? Yeah, well, I do mean Seattle. But who the Steelers got this week? Is it bye week? No, they play the Jets. So they play the Jets on Sunday night. So
Oh, lovely.
yeah, I don't. Maybe they're just
And they're in
banking.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're in Pittsburgh, so you can't be like, oh, the field or anything like that. I don't know. I don't get the move. I really don't.
I think they did. I did see that. I did remember that today. I saw a notification come in that said Devontae Adams. They want him to play Sunday night, and like
Yes, I saw
because
that
it's
too.
just hey, yeah, it's just him and A Rod out there fucking around like they used to. So it's possible. Like why wouldn't it be? So. And it's not like the Jets have some intricate offense. They just fire their head like it's Nathaniel Hack. Like everything's a disaster. So
Yeah,
it's just like, hey, go catch a ball for us, please.
yeah,
But yeah,
right.
I think Pittsburgh definitely has the advantage there. Like the line is 2.5 for the Jets. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think they're looking at
Interesting.
the.
I guess
I think they're
Russ.
looking.
Yeah,
Well, I think they're
Russ.
looking at it just being a defensive battle. The Steelers can't score points against a
I mean,
legitimate defense. The Jets
yeah.
have a legitimate defense,
I mean, do
and
they? They
the
that's where they.
Jets, the Jets were are. I think they're banking on Aaron Rodgers being better than the Steelers defense, which I don't think he is because T.J. Watt is a beast. So, good luck.
Yeah, that's true. That's yeah, A-Rod. And A-Rod, his mobility is definitely not there like it used to be.
Yeah,
Like he is just not. I mean, he's great. He got out of the pocket to throw that Hail Mary last or Monday night. So I
yeah,
guess I'm wrong, but yeah, it's, so he's not like he used to be, which I guess is fair to say at his age, of course.
right. And then, are you saying there's a chance Thursday night?
I said that before. We lose the teams we shouldn't and whoop ass on teams that we like shouldn't as well. Like we have a weird formula we always have, and it's a Sean Payton reunion game, even though there's probably like very minimal staff overlap at that point
Yeah,
because he was even like retired for a year or two before we got him, and so yeah, I mean yeah they have a backup quarterback. We actually do have a legitimate defense.
right.
So they have a rookie backup quarterback. They have both their receiver. They have two-star receivers out. So like, I think Michael Thomas isn't playing. If I'm pretty sure, I think he hasn't touched a football in 2 years, 6 years maybe or something like that.
He
So
cut a
yeah,
toenail this week. He's out.
Shohei Otani with a home run.
Oh, okay.
Oh, with a two base home run.
A
So
two base
three.
home run.
What's it called? What's it called? Two,
A 2 run home run.
three. Okay, then it was a three-run home run. Yeah,
Okay.
two on base. Two on
Oh,
base is
okay.
what I
This is
meant.
not a
That's what I
3 run
meant.
homer. We'll learn, yeah.
You said it is a three-run homer. That's what you
If
call it.
there, yeah, if there's two people on
Two on
base, then it's
base,
a
three
3 run
run
home
homer.
run. Yeah,
Yeah, see, I'm learning. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't know. I knew I was close. I knew there was two on base.
you're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ha, pun intended. Hey, I hate how quick you said hey, because that means ahead of time you said this is gonna be funny. You said this joke's gonna land. I'm gonna make a ballpark joke.
it worked.
I like that
Um,
Shohei Otani pointed back. He said, "Bet that money, $100 million, please." That was
yeah, for
crazy.
sure. Yeah, I was looking at this game earlier in our pick'em pool, and
We're gonna do that.
yeah, reminder.
Yeah,
So yeah, I was looking at this game earlier, and I was like,
we do
man,
have. We
I
do.
really
We're
don't
favorites.
know. Like,
We're favorites
I
now. We're
know that's
minus
what
three.
scares me.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, it is New Orleans, so it's not like it's a home game for us, but I mean, like, we'll probably travel moderately well. They're going to boo the fuck out of Sean Payton. That's not going to matter.
Yeah,
We, again, tickets as low as $22. You want to drive to New Orleans tomorrow night?
drive.
It's fly, I mean, yeah,
I
I guess
said drive.
flying might be cheaper. Yeah, so that, yeah, it's, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. This is never one that's yeah. The Broncos are never a team I really trust putting money on. Like even if we're playing the Chiefs, like I don't love that we're gonna lose that game. Like we win the dumb games like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't ever really like to bet for or against them. It's yeah, this is one I definitely could see us winning. I could also see us going in there and scoring 3 points and completely shitting the bed, and them scoring the 50 that they had the first 2 weeks, and us
yeah.
being the new assholes behind. Yeah, so I don't love either one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, though, at the end of the day, give me the Broncos. Give me -3. I think maybe we do get a 4-point win. I think like a 24-17, 24-18, something. I think we get into the 20. Maybe not. Maybe even word less. I think we have the 17. Saying that we scored 20 in New Orleans kind of sounds sketchy. So yeah, maybe it's like a 17-10 because I feel like they won't get their offense going, but I feel like
Yeah.
they do get like a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown. Like I feel like we fuck something up, but yeah,
I don't know.
it's not gonna be a perfect game by any means. So
I'll tell you, it's a game I'm staying away from gambling on.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
over under spread money line, none of it. I don't like
Yeah.
any of it, none of it whatsoever.
I
So,
agree.
but yeah,
Uh, Only thing I have to add about NASCAR, cutoff race was a Charlotte Roval. Kyle Larson dominated just as he did in the last cutoff race, which is just interesting to me. Tyler Reddick, your punchable man,
punchable
had a hell
man.
of a drive back through the field to
X three X something two
23
23
XI.
XI. Damn it, I was
Yeah.
close. I was onto it.
23 is Michael Jordan's number. 11 is Denny
Yeah,
Hamlin's
Denny
number.
Hamlin. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
So he had a hell of a drive back through the late in the field or late in the race to claim his playoff spot over Joey Logano, and then big news: Alex Bowman, one of the biggest race teams, Hendrick Motorsports, disqualified after the race for having too light of a car, and the
Is
team
he in the playoffs?
he end of the race ends, he's in the playoffs. He's like fourth in the playoffs. They disqualify him. He drops out of the playoffs because he lost the
Everybody
whole race. Yeah, he
shifts out.
loses. He loses all of his points from that race, so his point total dropped him down.
So whoever was in ninth,
Yeah, so Joey
or
Logano was eliminated. He then
and
bumped
then
up into the top eight.
back into it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's sick.
yeah,
What a range of emotions too. You lose your spot, you find out you're out, dude gets qualified, now you're back in.
yeah.
So
And then I guess the team basically was. They were like, everybody was expecting them to appeal because it's like, what do you have to lose? You appeal, NASCAR hears it, and it's a third party appeal board, and they kind of, say what they want to say, and the team makes a decision. And then Hendrick was like, no, we're not going to appeal. And according to officials, they don't really know how their car was too light. So that's a little concerning.
yeah,
If
I
you're
feel like that's something. Yeah,
the way
like
it
how
works,
much?
basically the way it works is you weigh your car Saturday, and then you qualify, you race, and then after the race, all the playoff cars get weighed, and you have to be within 0.5% of your pre-race weight. And also, there's a minimum weight that you have to meet for NASCAR, and they were not within that 0.5%, which is about 17 pounds.
In my head, I feel like it's something so stupid where like a stray kitten got climbed up in one of the engines, and they weighed the car, and they're like, "Dude, you're 2 pounds heavy." Like, and he's like, "I don't know why." I don't know why. And all the mechanics
Yeah,
are like, "We didn't change shit over the weekend."
yeah, it's
Yeah, that would
mind-boggling
suck.
because they even NASCAR even allows you. So like, if they weigh the car and you're too far under, they allow you to take the car off, set it to the side. They allow you to fill the gas tank, so you get that weight from the liquid. They also allow you to flush the cooling system and re-add the water just in case any burn off of the cooling system during the race. So they did both of those things and they still came in 17 pounds underweight.
Damn.
So like they must have been significant. I mean, I guess it could have been like 17.2 pounds, but
Yeah,
NASCAR
because
gives
now
you that 17
thinking
pounds
like,
essentially.
not that I'm by any means a mechanical expert, but like, how the fuck do you lose 20 pounds off a car?
Right. Yeah.
Like
So
that, yeah, that makes you think. Yeah, that's an odd scenario because yeah, that's a
yeah.
lot of weight. Like
Right.
if you move it by a little bit, then you're like, okay, that's fair. Something rattled, like you did something. Like yeah, like that makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Yeah, that's an odd scenario.
Yeah.
So then you said that they didn't appeal. That the team was just like,
Right.
whatever. We don't
The
know what we
team
did. It's our
basically,
fault.
yeah, the team basically said, "Hey, we don't even know how we would fight this, so we're not going to." So I guess props to them for just standing up and being like, "Hey, well, I guess we're done." Um, it also makes it easy because Hendrick Motorsports, their other three cars that they run were all in the playoffs as well, so they all made the top eight. So all four of their cars made the top eight. They claimed half of the playoff spots in this next
Damn.
round until Alex Bowman got disqualified. So
So
yeah,
they have 3 of the final 8 then.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's pretty good odds. That's it. When they said whatever,
Exactly.
fine, whatever. Alex, go home. Our
Yeah.
bad. Our
Yeah.
bad.
So, and Denny Hamlin mentioned on his podcast that it's about $135,000, give or take $15,000 per point or per spot in points. So, let's say he finished eighth and got knocked out, and now he finishes ninth, having the most points. There's a good chance that he finishes ninth, and they lost $135,000. So,
Damn.
yeah, it's not that big of a financial impact,
I was
but
gonna say, yeah, I'm not sure what the
it
race.
is
Like,
big
what are the
news.
purses for a race? Like, what does the winner get?
They don't tell us anymore. It's private.
Really?
That's part of the lawsuit with Denny Hamlin in 2311. Yeah, they don't tell you how much they don't like take a picture with the check or anything like that anymore. It's all
When did
private
that
from
stop?
NASCAR. In like the mid 2010s ish, early.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I never because I don't watch it
yeah,
enough to recognize that that would be a missing component of it. So they're just getting checks, and we have really technically no idea how much
yeah.
they're for.
They no longer tell you how much the purse is. So
Oh, I need to look that up.
yeah,
'Cause I'm interested in that. I want to see why. I want to dig into that. I want to know why. I want to see the ins and outs of that. That's an interesting
NASCAR
one.
NASCAR has always been very private about how much money they have. They're a private business. There's a reason they're not publicly traded. They're a private company. They like to keep that stuff under as DL as possible,
That's
and that's
sketchy. That's
basically what
sketchy.
Denny
That's
Hamlin and
sketchy.
they're fighting about.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like that's sketchy because it's like,
if
why
you,
not? Like,
I
why do
don't
you not?
think we mentioned this, but Kyle Larson, the guy who won this week and who's also leading the points, he mentioned when they asked about Denny Hamlin and 23XI's lawsuit, he said, "Look, we're the only sport where the athletes' salaries have gone down." Um, and he's
Interesting.
right. When they sign contracts, they're usually only for like 2 or 3 million a year max, and that's like him, like as one of the best drivers in the world. So like
Damn.
you imagine some of these guys running these back end cars that are they may only make $1 million in a
They'd be
year,
breaking even basically for
right?
what they got to pay for and stuff. I mean, I guess at that point, like they are, that's like sponsorship money. That's where that all comes in. But that sucks
That's
that you're
exactly what it
relying.
is. They
It's
say
basically like
basically it's your
being in
job to bring in money,
NASCAR. Yeah, being in
bring in
NASCAR
sponsors.
is like being in like college. Like you're like your own NIL. Like you got to go
Yes.
get your own sponsorships and your own money for it. But like, sure, you can come to this team, but you better have some bread to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I kind of wish it wasn't like that. I kind of wish it because I feel like NASCAR would be bigger if it wasn't. If they did just open the
That's
doors
well,
and
that's part of
let in the
what Denny Hamlin
sponsors,
wants
and
with him
I'm
and
sure
Michael
Jordan
Jordan.
does too. Jordan says,
They're
"Slap my
bas-
logo on every track." Like
yeah. Well, Jordan's big issue is the
the
line
ownership
specifically
to
about
his. Yeah.
taking
He's like, "Oh hell
marketing
no."
rights of the sponsors of the cars, which is his company Jordan,
Yeah,
and
he's
he's
like,
like,
absolutely
no,
not over my
yeah,
dead body.
yeah, exactly. But then also Michael Jordan is probably one of the few with the financial power to actually fight NASCAR.
Yeah, we had talked about that before. Like, it's not like he's paying a lawyer. Like, that's a here's a free yacht. Go fucking
Yeah,
figure this out.
right,
Like,
yeah,
I just get this taken care of.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right, want to move back into some NBA futures?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do just a couple quick ones. Right before we do those, I want to talk. There was the GM survey. It's always fun. I just love this. Real quick, GM survey. They rated Eastern Conference best team Celtics, Western Conference Thunder, Shea
Thunder.
Gilgeous-Alexander for MVP. Yeah, so Thunder. They have a young core. They're solid. They got Caruso. Um, Vic Wembanyama, if you were to start a franchise today, they voted Giannis the most versatile defender, best coach Eric Spoelstra, most unpredictable team on how well they're or how successful they'll be this season, the Lakers, and they vote on rule changes, and this is where I thought it was pretty interesting. This is why I wanted to jot these ones down for
I'm
you.
sorry to interrupt, but I
Go for
love
it.
hockey. I'm
Oh
sitting here
yes, I didn't
watching
even
the
realize that there was a
Colorado
game
Boston
on.
game, and
Oh, you said
it
go
just
Boston.
hits like I know.
Oh
I never
yeah.
said go Boston. Do not ever
You
put
said I
those
was
words in
watching
my mouth.
Boston. You said I was watching Boston. My bad. My bad. My bad. Clip it. Clip it.
Uh, but oh, those some dirty hits. Not like
Yeah.
dirty like
It's clearly
against the
solid.
rules, like
Yeah,
solid. Like
solid.
that hurt. That hurt
Yeah.
me sitting here watching.
Yeah, we need to get to
But
some Bears games. That'd be something solid to do together too. Go
yeah,
to some Hershey Bears games because it's the local stuff. Because yeah, just get us because it's cheaper. You can sit on the glass and still get to watch hits and feel people smash against it. Like that's solid.
yeah.
But the GMs voted on rule changes. One of the most voted rule changes was to take the playoffs and just rank seeds 1 through 16. So instead of Eastern Western, they would just do 1 through 16 for the whole league. The other one was
Oh,
letting the
okay.
top seeds choose their opponents, which I thought like was one of the craziest. Yeah, that's why I was like, I
Okay,
have to bring that up.
so you take the top 16 and then you get to
You
pick
take the
who you
top
play.
eight, first picks whoever they want out of the bottom eight. But imagine the mental aspect of that.
Yeah.
Lakers get the first seed. The 76ers are the ninth seed. They're like, give us the 76ers. Like, the 76ers is like,
Right.
oh, motherfucker, like, you just think we're a walk in the park. Like, you're looking at us. This is the
That's
16 seed. Like, I
that's
just was like,
just
that would be
crazy
kind
enough
of
that I can
cool.
actually see the NBA doing it.
That's how I was like, that's kind of nuts, but like that would be so fun if they just read no Eastern Western. Top seed gets to pick the first, and then whoever's an eighth seed, you get whoever's left. So it's
Yeah.
probably gonna be the ninth seed, which makes sense. First is probably gonna pick 16th, but there'll be some weird matchups every now and then where that
Right.
first overall is gonna be like, give us the 10th seed. Everyone's gonna be like, holy shit! But then the rest of their walk is so easy into the
Yeah.
playoffs. So yeah, you will definitely see some odd things. I saw it and I was like, damn, that would be super crazy. And then I also saw that two-way players, when they get those two-way deals, like those 10 days contract and stuff, like the NBA always does that kind of stuff, they're not eligible for the playoffs. So if a team signs them, they're then not eligible. They have to sign like a legitimate contract, which they may
Okay.
be ineligible for by that point in the season. So you could play with a team for the whole season on like these multiple two-way deals and
Yeah.
then not be allowed to play for that team in the playoffs. So the
Okay.
owners were like, yeah, no, like if we're paying them all year, we'll keep playing them through the playoffs. Like let us have them. So, but
What
yeah,
if you
other,
just spitballing ideas here because I
I
love
love it.
this stuff.
Go for it.
What if you did the seed? So like, the team gets to pick the lower seed that they play against, but the lower seed gets to pick where you're set in the bracket,
Yeah, see, that would be cool too, because then
right?
like
So
they're
like then
looking
you could pick
ahead.
who you're playing.
Yeah,
Like who would I
your
potentially
section.
play in
Yeah,
this this corner
like
to
you would
get to
take the
this?
highest lowest seed after the matchups are picked,
Right.
and then look and
So the
go.
ninth seed
We
would
want
get
to
to
play
pick.
here. Yeah, we want to
Yeah,
go here. Or actually, no, you'd
it
make
would
the
be
other ones pick
yeah, it'd be
first.
the
Yeah, that way the
16
nine could
seed
say,
pick.
yeah, I want to go there. That looks like
Oh
the
yeah, but
easiest
then the
route for
ninth
both of
seed
us.
doesn't get the pick.
They get the last one available. We're
Right.
gonna work this out. We'll figure it out. We'll let the NBA know. We'll let Adam Silver know.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
get
let
it
them know
all
what we
ironed out.
decide, and
Yeah, we'll
when
get
they
that
take
ironed
it,
out.
we'll take credit for that and bank millions. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we just need a little share, just some free tickets and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's good.
And a Harrisburg NBA team. Nothing
Yeah,
crazy. Nothing crazy. Just
they
Vegas,
had one in
Seattle,
Hershey before.
Harrisburg. That's true. Yeah, if we could get that would be sick. I always forget about Hershey being like a potential spot for that. Like that's a
That's where
real thing. Wilt
that's where
scored his
Wilt dropped
100.
100. Yeah,
Yeah. Which I forget it. Well, finding out that that game was like a five overtime game or something like that, or
yeah,
overtime or double overtime was so sad. I was like, wait, no, timeout. I was like, that doesn't count. Give Kobe the crown, like that. Give the 81
right.
the crown, like that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So, all right, yeah, we'll do just a couple futures here for the NBA since I said we're not too delved in here. MVP, you have anybody? Any guesses?
Oh, give me Joel.
Maybe Joel,
No
a healthy
doubt.
Joel. I mean, that's a fair pick if he stays healthy. Like if he's
Here's
legitimately healthy all year.
here's
But
the problem.
that's a huge
They
caveat.
yeah, health is the biggest problem. The
Yeah.
second problem is they came out and said that they're gonna have him try to avoid back to backs.
He said I wouldn't be surprised if I never play another back to back in my career.
Right.
Which like you shouldn't have had him say it. That looks so much worse for him to be like, yeah, no, me, I'm not showing up to work on the second day ever, ever. If I don't get a day off, I'm not coming in.
Yeah, so it seems unlikely just on that alone. But yeah, I don't know. I don't I don't know too much about the NBA. So
Yeah,
give me
no, I mean,
Joel because I'm a big Philly homer.
yeah, no, I mean, it is a fair pick. Like I said, if he stays healthy, Paul George plays up to his abilities. Like the 76ers could definitely be a team to be reckoned with, but they also could be a team that just absolutely fumbles this year. And the whole trust the process, which has been like a 10-year in the making, that could all come
The
crashing down
process is
very
over,
soon.
bud.
Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be very over very soon. So, for me, I have Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. I loved
okay,
him.
yeah,
I just, yeah, he has been so fun to watch. He has just been, he's charismatic as hell too. So like he kind of wins you over and you want to root for him. But yeah, he's super young and
he is.
the GM survey had him rated by by far as the most athletic player in the NBA, and so to see that kind of like changing and like the trophy being passed there, like the throne being handed down is kind of crazy. So yeah, I like Ant Man for that.
Okay.
Rookie of the year. This is one that's I know I won't make you pick one, but Zach Edey has skyrocketed to be the favorite, which is the kid
See
out of
that.
Purdue. If you were looking
Oh,
at
okay.
that big dude, seven
Yeah.
four, 300 pounds, gets to go to the Grizzlies, so he'll be playing with Steven Adams. So it's a Steven Adams left, so it's kind of his show to be the big man with John Morant, which is a big deal.
Oh,
But yeah, so
Jaws
that's
back. He's not shooting people anymore.
yeah, that's another one. He was
Or
a favorite
posting
player
videos
too,
of
posting
guns.
videos of guns and saying that they're fake and hanging out with the wrong people on Instagram. So yeah, if he actually decides to play basketball this year, the Grizzlies could be on a good streak. But yeah, they ended up being one of the worst teams in the league last year because of all that, and he just never came back right. So yeah, I think
Gotcha.
Zach Edey has a solid chance for Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year as well as Most Improved, I think is going to go to Victor, which I think he has the highest odds for both. So I'm just playing home favorite there. Like that, it just seems likely. The guy's 7'4", 200 pounds, and has an 8 foot wingspan. So
Yeah.
he's just out there blocking everything. He wears a 20 and a half size shoe, and he got
Oh
Chris
my
Paul
God.
and he has Chris Paul as a point guard now this year. So like he has someone legitimate that can just throw lobs and has been
Okay.
doing it for 15 years. Like yeah, Victor's gonna have a lot of fun in San
Ooh, a
Antonio
fight.
this year. So a fight. I gotta switch over. Yeah, I still have baseball. I gotta switch over.
They stopped it already. The ref
And
did.
then my last one is six man of the year. I think Dante DiVincenzo for the Timberwolves win it because I think that the Timberwolves make it far, and I think they have a really good record in the
Wait a
regular
minute.
season.
He went to
Uh,
Villanova. Isn't he supposed to play for the Knicks?
he was part of the Villanova boys, and then over the summer they traded him just recently. So Dante DiVincenzo and Julius Randle got
They got
traded
rid
for
of the New
Karl Anthony
York
Towns,
Knicks.
and then immediately after it came out that Jalen Brunson was roommates with Dante at one point, and then was roommates with Josh Hart at another point, and so he's like the middle friend between the two. But Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo don't fuck with each other, so there was
Uh,
this weird animosity there. But then they got Mikal Bridges, so they had four guards and only three
right.
spots. So it
Oh,
was like somebody had to go, and Dante was unhappy to begin with. So then he got traded. But then the other day in a preseason game, he started jawing at Tom Thibodeau, and Jalen Brunson's dad is an assistant coach on the Knicks. So he was standing there shooting free throws and was like, "This is that's what happens when y'all let him run the show." And everyone was like, "Are you talking about Jalen, who's like one of your best friends? Are you talking about Tibbs, who because he's the coach and traded you? Or are you talking about Jalen's dad because they let him run the offense?" Like it was this whole thing, and then they had to get separated at the end of the game. So like a player to coach, usually that never happens. So
yeah.
yeah, there's all kinds of beef going on there. But yeah, like Dante's a solid player. So yeah, I think him being on the Timberwolves, he's like a six man of the year. He's not even going to start. So
Right.
I think that yeah, I think he has a really good chance to win that. But
All right.
championship, I think my Celtics. I think they beat the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets come in strong this year after flopping last year to the Mavs. Excuse me, to the Timberwolves. Timberwolves then lost to the Mavericks, so I think that it comes back this year. I think the Heat are way better than everybody anticipates. I don't think the Knicks or the Cavs or whoever else I feel like was for the Western.
Thunder.
Yeah, for Eastern Conference, it was Knicks, 76ers, Bucks, and Heat
Yeah.
were fifth favorite. And I just think that the Heat have a really good chance to be in there to play the Celtics. So, yeah, I'd like Celtics Heat for my conference championship and
Okay.
Nuggets T Wolves. I think the Mavs don't do as well as they think, and I don't think they're going to bounce back. So, I think Nuggets T Wolves and then Celtics over Nuggets for the championship. I'm so excited for this NBA season. So
Clearly,
excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, I was
I
so
could not care
excited.
less.
Yeah, so excited. Yeah, so
I'll get
excited.
excited about basketball
April.
May.
Yeah, pretty much April. April's when the playoffs start. That's about yeah, that's when we get
Yeah.
locked in. I do. That's yeah. I try to watch as much as I can. So like I'll always have it up like on a screen somewhere just to like watch and appreciate the game. But yeah, some games are like when you get bottom of the league, a Pistons Nets or Pistons Wizards on like a Tuesday night. Like there's a good chance I'm letting that game go. Like I'm
Yeah,
not tuning in for
much
that.
much
So
like the MLB, they play too many games for
too
me to
many
pay
games.
attention to all of
82 is
them.
too many. Way too many.
So
Way
I
too many.
just yeah.
Yeah. How would you feel? This was a PMT question before we finish here, real quick. PMT had a little skit the other day about a fan that wrote in a question. How would you feel about all major leagues having 17 games?
All major leagues having
So
17
baseball,
games.
hockey, football,
Basketball.
basketball. I felt like I already said basketball, and then I was like, what am I
No.
forgetting? Yeah, hockey and baseball, football and basketball, because it would make them so much more important. The only thing that would suck is that like you wouldn't get it all year. Then they went on a tangent about like, well, fuck it, let's just do it one a week, 52 games or 51. They only get 1 week off. Like let's just do 51. Like Sundays are for football, Mondays are for college football, Tuesdays are for the MLB, Wednesdays are for the NHL. Like
Now that I could get behind.
yeah, I was like, that would be
Uh,
sweet. But yeah, 17 games for each league. I was like, so for baseball, it feels like too little. For basketball, it does still feel like too little. For hockey, it feels like it could be appropriate. And for football, it feels nice. But
Yeah,
like, yeah, like give me like 20 across all leagues, 25, like 25 across all leagues. Like, give me a couple more football games
that's a
for
lot
regular
for
season.
football.
There's a lot. Suck it up. Suck it up. You get paid for it.
In a long season too.
So
Um,
they'd have multiple bye weeks. You get like 3 bye weeks and a little Pro Bowl break halfway through the season. You get an All Star break just like NBA does.
yeah, but you also got to watch weather because like nobody's trying to play in Miami in July or
That's true too.
you know what I
I
mean.
mean,
Like,
they're playing in Green Bay in December. Is that any better?
yeah, but that's different.
The Buffalo Bills hire town folk to come in and scoop out snow so that they could play a
Yeah,
football game.
give them
So
tickets to the football game.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
I thought that was interesting. Yeah, because like you just mentioned the too many games. Yeah, I feel like I think 17. Of course, I think that's kind of facetious. Like I think like 50 for baseball would be okay. I think 50 for basketball, maybe even less. But like 50 feels like you're not taking too much away from it. There's still
yeah,
time to
I
teeter with rosters and stuff like that. But
for
like
these
because they're
sports,
smaller.
everything that's not football essentially, because all of them have very long seasons. When you look at
Yes,
the total number of games,
too many.
I want to see at minimum every team play every team home and away.
Yes,
So
that's true. So
every fan
yeah,
gets to see their team come to town once a year,
and go
guaranteed
away.
once a year.
Yes, yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. You
Um,
might not get your star players; they might be resting, but
right
like you get
after
your
that,
30 games or whatever it is. I guess it would be with 60 games. You have like a
yeah,
60 game schedule
right.
roughly.
Okay, so to speaking of your star players resting and Joel Embiid not playing back to backs, I would if I had the magic wand and I suddenly controlled commissioner of all four leagues, with the exception of NFL, everyone's playing everywhere once a season, and you're not allowed to rest if you're the away team. Like you're only in that town once. The fans
Mm,
are paying the money to see
yeah, I
you.
like that.
If
That's a
you're
solid
if you're
loophole. That
resting,
yeah,
you got to do it at home. I'm
yeah,
not banning resting. I'm just saying you can't
yeah,
do it on the
yeah.
road. Like that's all. That's all I'm asking
Yeah,
for.
and with that many games, like you would either have to do back to backs to get them done, or you could definitely do the scheduling correct where it would just be like every other, and it wouldn't be that
Right.
bad because you do a handful of road games at a time, go home for a handful of home
Yeah.
games. Like yeah, 60 games feels okay. As I said, like 50 felt like kind of cutting it short, but it still feels like too much. Like it's just so many fucking games. But I feel like those sports are just like more player focused, like one singular player. So you are like playing with your roster and you're teetering a lot more. Whereas like in football, you can get Blake Bortles leading the Jaguars to an AFC Championship game. Like,
Right.
and that was not anticipated. There was no teetering of the roster. It was next man up, and they just happened to get some magic going. So yeah, I think the rest of it you do need that longer season to teeter. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting one.
That's a good question though.
Cool. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm so excited for basketball season. Football's winding up. Trade deadline's coming up.
All
World
right.
Series are coming to a close. WNBA Finals coming to a close.
Yeah. We'll
All kinds of good stuff.
we'll wish everybody a good Thursday because that's probably when they'll hear this. And
True.
catch us tonight. Go find our AI post. Great photo.
Yes. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
the
You
score.
got 20 hours or so, or I guess 19 from the time you hear this, or less in the morning. But yeah, go comment
Yeah.
on that. Get yourself a chance to win a $5 3-leg parlay for nothing at all. Just a comment. Go guess
Yep.
the score for Saints of the Broncos down in New Orleans.
Yeah. Should be a good game. We'll see you tomorrow evening.
Cool. We'll take everybody. See you later.
Great fun fact for the night because I
Oh
can't forget
yeah. Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Australia exports sand and camels to the Middle East.
I saw this recently.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. I saw that and was like, that's the wildest shit ever. You could have told me it was reversed, and I would have been like, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
But the fact that it's the opposite, and that's just,
Yeah.
I need to dive more into that too. What was I looking up here? Amari Cooper clip, NASCAR purse. I'm going to Google it and find it. Reddit's going to tell us.
Yeah.
And then Australia shipping sand in.
Yeah. Basically, I guess the sand in Saudi Arabia is too fine because of all the wind.
So they bring in
yeah,
big old clunky ocean chunks of sand.
Australian is, I guess, clunkier and stronger. I don't know. I'm not a sand expert. If we have one out there, let us know. Feel free to weigh in. We'll have you. We'll have you on live tomorrow
Wouldn't
night.
that be say? I was like, wouldn't that be so weird? Someone else was like, actually, I studied a little bit of this in college.
Yeah. What's that called? Geology, right?
Sure.
I think that goes
Yeah,
there.
I would kind of. Yeah, I was gonna say I know that's rocks, so I think it would probably go in that category. But yeah, I could absolutely be wrong.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, Mr. Pello, hit us up.
Amen. All right, guys. Have a great day. Appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
see you guys later.